Resident Evil Code Veronica released on February 3rd in the year of 2000 as a Dreamcast exclusive. It was a major installment within the franchise, meaning it's canon, and it was the first to release outside of the almighty PlayStation circle. To this day, I rarely see anyone talk about it, which is surprising because it set up almost all of the major plot points in future Resident Evil installments. It set up so much plot points that it was originally supposed to be Resident Evil 3, but due to porting issues at the time, it was scrapped and moved to the Dreamcast. It was also going to be the first game where we actually see Chris and Claire together and reunited. Code Veronica is super underrated because it had a lot of innovation going on for it. The gameplay was super fluid and featured semi-fixed camera angles, along with more 3D backgrounds rather than the 2D pictures that were featured in a lot of older retro games. The story takes place in December 1998, just 3 months after escaping Raccoon City. We see Claire Redfield, who seemed to can't get enough of the chaos, raiding an Umbrella facility in Paris because she's looking for her brother Chris. She gets discovered, captured, and imprisoned on Rockford Island, which is a complex owned by Umbrella. Some time passes and she gets released by the same dude who captured her as she finds out a T-virus outbreak occurred. She finds herself teaming up with another inmate, Steve Burnside, or how I like to call him, Puberty Boy. In an effort to escape Prison Island, they run into Alfred Ashford, a mentally unstable island commander who switches personalities from himself to his twin sister Alexa. Code Veronica does contain some of the most unique characters in the Resident Evil series. Each character feels perfectly woven into place to fit into the story. The twins have a super weird relationship and is one of the most memorable moments of Code Veronica. From reading documents about them to the cutscenes, it'll definitely leave you cringing in all of the good ways. As well as the puzzles, Resident Evil puzzles have always been an interesting staple of the series, and Code Veronica never misses the mark from fun and intricate puzzles all over the game that take some big brain power to solve. Steve and Claire escape on a seaplane, but Alfred switches their plane to autopilot, which puts them on a course to a facility in Antarctica. I guess Umbrella was the old version of Amazon, considering they have facilities everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon Pharmaceuticals popped up into the future. There's also an outbreak at this facility, which seems to be a running theme that Umbrella can't keep anything contained. Claire and Puberty Boy fight their way through the monsters and infected, and end up battling and basically killing Alfred. Before his death, he frees his sister Alexa, who was cryogenically frozen within the base after injecting herself with the T Veronica virus, which is an experimental virus. By the way, I forgot to mention that they are clone siblings of Veronica Ashford, and Alfred is the dumb one, but who cares about Alfred? He got his soul took. Alexa manages to awake and capture Claire and Steve. I do love how Code Veronica's story ramps up each stake and kind of snowballs into so many different twists and turns. One of the only other Resident Evil games to do this was Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil Village, and to watch this story grow and change in real time is one of those things that make RE games so memorable. How a simple search and rescue mission turned into an insane viral outbreak involving clones, Antarctica, and puberty shows how campy yet fun the series can get. Chris Redfield shows the fuck up after punching some rocks only to finally lose to one, and he investigates Rockford in search of Claire after receiving a message from her via Leon S. Kennedy. Unfortunately, Leon isn't really in the game. Upon his search, he finds Albert Wesker. Yes, the Albert Wesker, the man who's primarily comprised of just leather. He's been independent since the Spencer Mansion mess, and it's great to see him back, but this time he's super powered up. You see, upon his death, he injected himself with the T-virus, which gave him superhuman powers such as super speed, strength, and glasses that never fall off your face apparently. He was sent to get the T Veronica virus and beat the fuck out of Chris. Chris learns his sister's whereabouts, and Wesker finds out Alexa is alive. Chris and Wesker separately travel to Antarctica, and Chris frees his sister and they look for Steve. Sadly enough, Puberty Boy had been experimented with and injected with the T Veronica virus and mutates and tries to kill Claire. He regains control, however, and tries to turn on Alexa, who mortally wounds him, which sucks. Before he dies, he confesses his love to Claire, who sadly only sees him as a friend. Aww. Meanwhile though, Chris and Wesker confront Alexa and fight. In the fight, Wesker escapes and brings Steve's corpse with him. I'm guessing it's to experiment on. I hope Wesker's not into like necro stuff. Chris manages to defeat Alexa and leave with his sister. In Resident Evil fashion, the Antarctica base blows the fuck up. This story was full of surprises, twists, and turns. It was also one of the only RE games where you could dual wield weapons, which is cool as fuck. Although I wish Steve's character had lived, as the story was interesting. Originally locked up because him and his dad were threatened to whistleblow, wanting to be seen as capable as well as not just some moody kid with dual wielding pistols. It is a shame a character like this ended up biting the dust. And in my opinion, I feel like if Code Veronica ever is remade, could we potentially make Steve live? We also see the return of Wesker, as it shows the inevitable setup for his role in RE4 and 5. Within some cool game modes, it's also one of the first-person RE games outside of the arcade machines. This game was even said to be extremely harder than most RE games, so it gets more of a feeling of success when you do manage to beat it. All in all, Code Veronica is highly underrated, and I feel more people should play it. In my opinion, it should come out before 4 is remade, so it could be ideally set up within the series. From better controls, tank controls, funny cutscenes, campy horror,
this thing is a lot more reliable than any person.
And some of the most interesting characters in the series to date, I'm more surprised why less people talk about Code Veronica. And I think this is one of the only games in the series where we see Chris and Claire together in any capacity. I always wondered why they're almost never together, but I guess that's just a question for later. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe and join the loser gang today. Comment down if you played Code Veronica or not. I will see you guys later.